Hello and welcome to the Auburn On Main podcast. My name is Jonathan Glover, Communications Manager for the City of Auburn, and this is episode 63, and joined not per usual, but for this one specific occasion by my co-host Angee Pogosian. Angee, how you doing?
Super duper well.
Thanks for being here. And Angee, you're here because we are interviewing the co-owners of Resort Medspa. We have Zufi Shabbir.
Hello.
Hi, Zufi, and Fatima Salad.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is really exciting. Have we had a business owner?
I don't think so.
I don't think we have yet.
We feel so special.
This might be the first. Maybe we did. I really need to get better about remembering our previous episodes. Thank you both for joining us today. How are you doing? We've been talking a lot before we started recording. So now that we're recording, I guess we can kind of keep going with the conversation. But you're both doing well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Having a good time. Taking a lot of videos and photos so far.
Yes. It's our first podcast.
First ever podcast.
We got to record our moments.
Of course. No, do it for
This
sure.
is a good first for sure. Angee, how are you doing?
Oh my gosh, I'm doing well. It's my birthday week.
It's your birthday tomorrow?
Yes. I'm going to the Lakewood Playhouse with James tonight, and we're going to go watch a play.
What play is it?
I don't remember. We bought the tickets. We bought the tickets like a month ago, so I don't remember what it was. I just love plays and musicals. So
And that's tomorrow?
today.
Oh, today.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then tomorrow's my birthday party. So 25. Super excited.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I don't remember my 25th birthday.
Really?
No,
That's so sad.
I don't remember it at all. What are you doing like an open mic thing? You have like a whole day planned. You have a whole week planned.
Well, yeah, and tomorrow it just starts at 5, but I'm going to have my friends over. We're going to do open mic and tacos from Garcia's. Shout out Garcia's.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm
like
super
them.
excited.
Their food is good.
Their food is so good.
Very good salsa. Yeah, you had tried it for the first time.
Yeah, for
like a month
Kevin's
ago.
goodbye
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. So, and I was like, I need to come back here. So, yeah. And then also, like, I wanted to do tacos, and I was like, I'd rather go through like a local business instead of like Chipotle or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's going to
Support
taste
local.
better too.
Exactly.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Be
Anyhow.
fresh. Well, cool. We're recording this very early. So this episode doesn't actually come out till March 11th, but we just got done with State of the City. That was 2 nights ago, which is wild because it just felt like it was just, I don't know. It's like your entire life and then it's over, which is great. So that's been good. What have you two been up to? Anything recently that you'd like to share or a fun thing you did?
I'll let you start.
I'm headed to Africa next
Oh my
week.
gosh,
Wow.
what part?
Yeah,
What the
Kenya.
heck?
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you have
Me,
ties
my kids?
to Kenya?
Yeah. Well, I lived there for 5 years of my life. Yeah.
Wow.
Before I came to the U.S. But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But
that's
I've been back there
crazy.
since like early 90s, since I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
So it's gonna be a new, because I don't remember.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun.
Your kids are gonna be looking at you like, "Mom, tell us about this place."
They're going.
I know,
they're
right?
going.
And you're gonna be like, "I don't know. I haven't been here in forever."
I know.
How old are your
my,
kids now?
9, 6, 4, and 3.
Oh, okay.
I got 4.
So the 9-year-old and
Yeah.
the 6-year-old will remember the whole
Yeah,
thing.
the
3-year-old
6-year-old I told him that we're going to do a safari. He doesn't think it's a great idea. He's like, I've Googled. It doesn't look very safe.
Yeah.
Oh my
That'd be so
gosh,
funny.
that's so cool.
And she was just in Africa, the
Where'd
very
you
northern
go?
part.
Oh well, I
in
was just
Egypt.
in Egypt and Morocco.
Oh,
Didn't
that's
go
nice.
too deep.
Just in Egypt.
I'm just like I didn't go like deep into Africa. I was just on the north part. So.
And her sister's still there. We're getting very personal on Angee. Sorry,
Yeah.
everybody. Your sister's still there, right?
Yeah, my
In
sister's in Egypt. She came and like crushed my honeymoon in a positive way. It was a long honeymoon, so she came for a little part
Was
of it.
it fun?
Super fun.
Yeah.
I
How was the
loved
weather?
it. It was really nice. I was kind of worried because it was December already, like end of November, early December, and I was like, is it going to be like cold? And it was not cold, but it wasn't like
Yeah.
unbearably hot either. So
Yeah.
it was like really nice. We got really sick in at the end of Spain and then into Morocco. So we were like sick the entire time, but that's
no.
negative. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so have you guys been to Egypt or Morocco?
No.
No.
I haven't been.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I would love to go to Egypt, though. Because
Yeah.
I have a couple of friends that live out there.
Yeah, Morocco too.
Yeah.
Where in Morocco were you?
We were supposed to go around, but we only were in Marrakesh because we were sick. We had to just stay
Yeah.
there. But yeah, anyway, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And what about you? What have you been up to?
It's been like 4 days since we recorded the last podcast. Climbing. We did that yesterday.
Oh,
Felt weak.
fun.
I made a sourdough
Aw,
recently. That was fun.
love.
Do you have a starter at home?
I do, yeah. It's my friend gave me part of his, so it's like 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
So it's very mature. So it bakes very well. So been very blessed by that.
That's great.
I don't know if you like fresh sourdough, but
Love
it's amazing.
At the store, because I heard it takes like 2-3 days. I was like, that's a struggle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it does. So the part about baking sourdough is the baking part is just such a little part. It's just an hour. It's everything before that.
Before that. It takes
So
a couple
when
of
you-
days.
It does. Well, yeah. If you time it right, you can
Yeah.
just do it overnight. And I don't know, results may vary, but the longest part is when it bulk rises. So when you turn it into like the ball, it has to sit in a tub for like 8 to 10 hours after that. And it ferments and it makes itself sourdough-y as the starter kind of eats the rest of the flour. So if you have to time that part, right? So if you're doing it during the day, it feels like it takes forever. But when you're sleeping, you just wake up and it's like, oh, it's mostly done. And then from there, you have to cold proof it for at least a day, for like 24 hours.
What
you're
does that
supposed to.
mean?
You put it in the fridge and you want to cover it, lock the moisture in, and it continues to develop a little bit and it solidifies so that when you take it out and you score it, it's not just going to like melt.
Wow.
So there's a lot to it. It's really fun.
A lot of
But-
technicalities.
Yeah,
But the end product is yummy.
absolutely. The finished product is very good. There's nothing like fresh baked sourdough.
His sourdoughs are beautiful.
Yeah, she's the baker.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you bake?
Yeah.
You bake sourdough?
No.
Oh, okay.
What do you make? What's your favorite stuff to
Cakes.
bake? Cakes.
Cakes.
Yeah. I took this on of making my kids' birthday cakes.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever theme they decide,
She's really good.
whatever they're into for that
That's
year.
amazing.
Yeah.
Did you start baking cakes just to be able to do that for your kids
Yes.
at first? Oh,
Do
that's
you
so
decorate them too?
cute.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
I wish I knew. I would have asked you to. I would have
Oh, yeah,
patroned
for your birthday.
Yeah. She's like, all
Next
her
year.
cakes look very fancy.
Do you have like an
That's
Instagram or do you like
I
bake?
don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Yeah.
But you do sell
fun.
cakes too, right?
No,
or
no,
no?
no.
Oh,
No.
you
I
don't.
think it's like if she knows you and cares
Yeah.
about
Just
you.
make
so,
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's crazy. I
Product of love, right?
Absolutely.
will keep you in mind for next year.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
What's your
Anytime.
favorite cake?
It's a Pakistani cake. It's a really famous.
Can you get a little bit closer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Pakistani cake.
Yeah. There's a family-owned generational bakery in a city called Hyderabad in southern Pakistan. And the bakery is called Bombay Bakery. And they make this, it's a novelty,
Yeah.
right? Their coffee cake. So it's coffee cake with coffee buttercream.
Oh, wow. That sounds really good.
So I've kind of mastered that recipe without having their original recipe.
Yeah. I love coffee cake.
Yeah.
So,
That's my favorite, with like walnuts on the side.
well, and it's so much
coffee
better when you
buttercream.
make it yourself too. Like what's funny is like when I'm craving sourdough, it's like, oh, you just make it. I gotta wait like 4 days, but I can make it. I gotta plan ahead a
Craving's
lot.
gone by then.
Yeah, and I always,
Yeah.
I don't know if you do this, but when I'm baking, I always I'm like, oh, it's a family gathering. I'll bake something, and then I always regret it because I'm like stressing about it because it's like, oh, I got to do this, and like, why do I always just try to do too much when it comes to that? So it's
Yeah.
probably the same thing that you have.
And baking for me is like my like calm moment.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I bake well into the night once the kids have gone to
yeah.
bed.
Yeah.
Past 10 o'clock. That is my time. I'm baking till like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. It's,
love.
yeah.
I
like
could
it.
definitely envision that with you.
Yeah. That's why it only happens twice a year.
Well, Zufi and Fatima, thanks so much for joining us. We wanted you to be on the podcast to talk about your business. So Resort Medspa, it has been open for how long?
Almost a year.
1 year in April.
Yeah.
Wow, so almost a year anniversary. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Thank you
talk
for
to me about that.
having us.
What made you want to create it and why now? Like what was that journey like?
You want to start?
Sure. So most of the fuel for this ambition comes from our own personal experiences with the Medspa industry or aesthetics in general. We were seeking treatments to take care of our skin problems.
Yeah.
And we were just not finding the right provider or the right place or providers with enough expertise in our melanin skin tone, right?
Absolutely.
So we decided to take things in our own hands. Let's go back to school. Let's learn how to deal with our own skin concerns. And in the process, it naturally evolved into, I'm sure there are other women out there, men as well, out there who can, who probably are experiencing the same issues that we have. So let's create a space where they can come and they can, learn something and teach us in the process.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure there's a lot of people just like that. And I think the business model that you've done, you hear that a lot of like people when they start a restaurant or they make music, they make the thing that they want to eat.
Yeah.
I want to make the music that I want to listen to.
Yeah.
And then that naturally finds an audience, right? Because there's other people that are
Mm.
very similar. So when you go in with that idea of like, I want to make the spa experience that I want to experience, I think that naturally connects with people.
And like, when you go to these other like, med spas, it's like a luxury item type of thing. It's just like some places are kind of stuffy, lack of personality, that type of thing. So we're just like, okay, if we want to have fun and then people come in, because if I'm going to spend my money, I want to feel good about it. You know what I mean? So I want to come out of there just been like, okay, this was totally worth it. It was fun. Yeah. And so we're just like, okay, then we're going to have to make our own spot.
Yeah.
That's going to be, where everybody just feels like, we just laugh, we have fun. And
Judgment-free zone.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Come in as you are. We're not going to judge you.
Right.
I love that. I love that especially for people who don't go to spas. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like, okay, how do I break into it? Like,
Right.
how do I make it like not awkward?
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
And that's what it is.
How do I make it like I've never been to a spa before?
and that's why, like, for our new guests, the initial step is your skin analysis. Everything is very objective.
Yeah.
Right? For somebody, like you said, who doesn't have a lot of experience or doesn't know much about their skin, it's important to start with objective data.
Yeah.
What does your skin look like? What are your concerns?
Tell us about that skin machine with the objective data.
So it's a 3D skin analysis. It uses different type of lights to look at different layers of your skin. So all the way down to your dermal layer. So it's looking at hydration with a hydrometer. It's looking at UV damage, inflammation underneath the skin. Yes, sunscreen,
I know.
right?
Wow.
Right.
Sunscreen.
Yeah. So
You're not the only one. We've all been there.
yeah.
No.
And loss of elasticity or what else? It's such an
Pigmentation.
extensive, like age spots, sunspots.
Yeah.
What does your skin look at the outermost level all the way down to the deepest?
And then like where your most like active oil glands are at, so you know where to like exfoliate the most, like whether it's a T-zone, where so it's very helpful.
What?
No, Angie's
What's going on?
she's beaming with questions. When she gets really into something, you can tell because she starts to like do ASMR and nail
Ask away.
taps.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so awkward. Okay. Let's say I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm so sorry about that. Let's say hypothetically, you've got someone who's like 22 years old, young and dumb. This is all hypothetical, right?
Not necessarily.
Goes to Southeast Asia for like 6 months, doesn't wear any sunscreen. Is their face permanently damaged?
They are still in the age range where that damage can be corrected.
Be corrected, Angie.
Yeah.
Not that we're saying it's you.
This was hypothetical.
Sorry, hypothetical. Angie's friend.
You guys aren't just saying that, right?
No.
Like, okay.
Do you get a lot of people who come in who have never done this before?
Yeah.
It's like people like me. I've never even had a massage or anything like that. You get people that like I have no
All
idea
the
what I'm
time.
doing.
All the time.
And I'm assuming it's like super easy for them to just kind of get immersed in it.
Yeah. I mean, you schedule your consultation and, put your face in that machine, and then we take a look at it. So out of that analysis, you get a personalized, treatment plan. Obviously, everything is personalized based on your skin concerns and your skin type.
And get a routine down. And that's the hardest part, I feel like, with a lot of people. Because you go from putting water on your face and going to now having like a 4 or 5 step, you know what I mean? But then we start them off with what you can do first, you know what I mean? And then build from there. Start with you have to at least have a cleanser, a moisturizer and SPF. Like, you know what I mean? Just start with something, you know?
I was going to ask, is there like a step process that's like the holy grail? Like you have to do these. Is it like moisturize?
Cleansing, hydration, SPF.
There you go.
And then SPF, can you tell us about like, I know we live in a cold state and people are like, you should wear sunscreen anyway. But like, I'm trying to understand, like, if I'm in an office for 8 hours, like, and I just have sunscreen on, and it's like, why do I have sunscreen on? Like, can you tell us about that, especially for people, like, we live in a cold state, all of that.
Shall I?
Yes.
Okay.
If that made any sense.
No, it does. And that's actually a very common question. You know, just because it's gray outside doesn't mean that there are no UVA rays, right?
Yeah.
But to come to your point, you're sitting in front of a computer screen. You're getting UVB rays from this. So you need protection from those as well.
I didn't know that.
Yes, you need a broad spectrum SPF, you know, that targets both UVA and UVB rays.
That's
Burning and
crazy.
aging.
So
That's crazy.
cleanse, hydration, SPF.
Yeah.
It's good
I
to
mean,
know.
I feel like that would be like the first, 3 steps at least to start with.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah.
There's also, there's times when people don't think you, like you said, and when it's overcast, people are like, oh, I won't get a sunburn. You can.
You can.
When it's sunny out and you're in the snow, snow is hitting the sun, it's like double hit.
Reflective.
Yeah,
Exactly.
when you're out swimming and you're like, oh, I'll be in the
Right.
water, but then it's like, yeah, it's reflective. That's why
Right,
people who
right,
are
right.
swimming all day, they get a really bad sunburn on their face, which is really fun. So
Yeah.
absolutely, wear sunscreen.
Wear sunscreen.
What on that? So your motto is inclusive beauty.
Empowering
you-
beauty of every shade.
Yeah. How do you service your products and how do you reflect that in your business practices?
We have Eminence, which is an organic line, and then DermaQuest basically is also another organic and some non-organic stuff in it. Look at the way she's looking at me. Because like Eminence says, like it's 100% organic. You
Right.
know what I mean? For those people who do want, I don't want,
Plant-based.
you know what I mean, plant-based. European. But it's just kind of like having products that actually do work for everybody, like if you we have stuff for aging, just like essential stuff, like for hydration, and like for people that have minimal like
Barrier
corrections,
repair.
and like and also like a lot of correction and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and aging, and so it's just kind of finding products that work for everybody, so that when you come there, like if you are of a pigment color and you do want something with hyperpigmentation, stuff like that, there's something for you. And if you're a mature age, somebody like that, then there's an entire line of anti-aging that's there for you. So everybody gets something.
Right. And the technology that we're using we do laser hair removal. And
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So laser is one modality that really, specifically for laser hair removal, it's targeting a chromophore. It's targeting melanin, right? So if you are doing laser hair removal, the technique has to be different, right? Because your skin is different. You don't have a lot of melanin in you compared to either Fatima or me. So the technology, the machine that we decided to use, you can optimize it for various skin types. So there's less chance of burning, there's less chance of adverse reaction. We've put a lot of thought into using skincare lines or using the technology that we have that can cater to all shades of skin tones. Typically unfortunately, I should say, aesthetic industry is catering to a very specific type of clientele. And we're trying to break that stereotype.
Yeah, and I'm sure you can see that if any was
Yeah.
on social media.
Yeah.
You get those ads, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably showing a certain person or a certain
Right.
type of person,
Right.
for sure.
So
It's-
showing would be one thing, I don't care about that part.
Yeah.
I care about like if I do come to you though,
Right.
I would hope that you have something for me.
Absolutely.
Right.
But then it's like, but people don't tell you I don't have anything for you. They tell you, oh yeah, here, take this, and then $400 later, I'm like, this
Yeah.
didn't do nothing for
One
me.
size fits
Exactly.
all. right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of went over this, but when somebody is like a first time,
No, me and her just were vibing in the corner.
Okay, why are you vibing with me? I feel left out.
Because I really,
Jonathan, you and I will.
okay,
you
we'll
guys
start a side
fine.
conversation on the podcast.
I just want to say, because we did a business spotlight, right? We did that last year. And I remember finding it really surprising when you mentioned like that some providers, they do have one size fits one
Most,
demographic. And how sometimes that's unsafe for people with skin tones like ours, for example. And I was like, that's crazy. I've never heard of that. And no one talks about that. And it's so cool that you guys literally have the technology, the skin line, the products specifically, you know.
For instance, like when you're doing a corrective procedure, chemical peel or microneedling, any procedure that's causing trauma to your skin, right? Like that's initiating the wound cascade. The skin's going to regenerate in response to inflammation or trauma that you're causing to it. The way your skin responds to that inflammation or trauma is different than how our skin will respond to it, right? So you got to cater those treatments accordingly. You got to keep in mind, let's say you're doing microneedling, right? I got to be careful about the depth that I'm using or how many passes I'm doing in an area. What type of trauma I'm creating, right? And to what extent. And then the pre-treatment regimen is very important. We put our guests on, skincare products that's going to decrease melanin production or stop the melanocytes from like going crazy in response to the inflammation. So pre-treatment, treatment, and post-care, all those 3 steps are so essential. And, at least in my experience, I don't know about you, Fatma, but none of those steps are typically explained to the guest when they're seeking a corrective procedure.
Yeah.
And we've kind of made a point to sit down in the consultation and be like, okay, these are your risk factors. This is why we're asking you to, start on this home regimen. We're not going to just, you walked in and you're asking for a microneedling. That's not going to happen. Yeah. Right?
Because it's easy to just take somebody's money. You know what I mean? But it's just kind of like, hey, you can't. And they're like, what do you mean I can't? I'm like, you can't just start. You know what I mean? That's just not how it goes.
You can't just start off with a chemical peel.
Yeah. You got to prep your skin first, especially when you've never had nothing, like you've never done anything to your skin, like routine-wise, and you had all this inflammation, and you just come in and you're like, now peel me. And no.
I don't think so.
Absolutely. Well, just for our listeners, what is microneedling?
Microneedling is a controlled trauma that you create in the skin. You're creating small punctures, and you're using a gliding serum to make sure that you don't, rip the skin. Yeah. But typically it's done with a mechanical pen. It has a sterile needle head, and the needles come in different sizes. And then you use a gliding serum, and you either can stamp and create that trauma or kind of, glide slowly. Yeah,
like exfoliating and...
Right. Yeah. So it's, depending on the depth, you're trying to create trauma either in just the epidermis or a little bit lower. Basically, it forces your skin to heal itself. And in the process of that healing, it's creating new collagen.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So it's also for like hyperpigmentation, acne scarring. So it does a lot under one treatment.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
That's, sorry, and then we can move on.
No, go ahead.
I think that's really cool that you guys make sure people are actually ready to go into those, because I hear about people who they're able to just schedule an appointment, right? And then they go get that service, and then their skin is like not reacting well, and it's because they weren't maybe ready for it. I don't know.
They weren't prepped for it.
Yeah. So that's always been I've always been like, I don't want anyone touching my skin, because I already have like pretty all right skin, and I'm just like, I don't want anyone to like ruin my skin.
No, you have beautiful skin.
Girl, stop. This pimple formed recently. I'm just like, but otherwise, anyway. Yeah. Cool that you guys do that.
Yeah. And to relate something that makes sense in my head, because I've never been to a spa before, but if like you went to a tattoo artist and you're like, I want a face tattoo. Some tattoo artists would be like, okay. And you don't have any tattoos, and your first tattoo is going to be a face tattoo.
Yeah.
Somebody who is ethical and has some morality, be like, I'm not tattooing your face tattoo as your first tattoo. Let's do something else. So it sounds like pretty similar to what you're talking about, where let's not do the thing that you might think you want right now. Let's take our time and explain this process and why that might not be the best idea, so that you can really get the best out of it and actually get what you're looking for. So I think that's super cool.
That's a great way to relate that.
Yeah. And then that's what the consultation is designed for.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
You might come in thinking, I need a chemical peel. but I might recommend microneedling because the concerns that you have maybe are, better suited to another treatment that you might not have thought about. But
Absolutely.
obviously, we're not going to force you to do, the end decision is always in the guest's hand.
Right.
But we can guide you.
We can guide you, but we don't say yes the first time peeling and things like that. We're not going to take that responsibility.
No.
Somebody has to think, between if you're
Exactly,
if I'm going a little bit like, hey, this is what I want, I would hope somebody would be like, no, actually, you
Right.
need to relax.
Right.
That's super
Take a
important.
step back.
Yeah.
Let's reevaluate.
Let's pause for a second. Yeah. Absolutely. So let's before we're gonna move on to our third segment of Don't Miss This, then we'll do some trivia. But I wanted to ask, so you are in April, that's your first anniversary.
Yeah.
Why Auburn, and what's your favorite part of owning a business together? I assume there's some stressful days, but hopefully there's a lot of good. So why did you pick Auburn, and how's it been?
Okay, to be completely transparent, Auburn just kind of fell into our laps.
Okay.
Yeah.
I grew up in Federal Way.
Oh, nice.
So Auburn is
Right
just
there.
a hop over.
Right down the hill.
Right. And so, it's been through its struggles. We've seen Auburn go through the struggle, but it's up and coming community.
Yeah.
So anyhow, the location kind of popped up, and it was the perfect location for what we were trying to do.
Yeah.
And so we went ahead with it. And so far, the experience has been great.
Yeah.
From the mayor down to our neighbors, right? Everybody has been really welcoming, very supportive. We're blessed with like 3 really great neighbors. One of them, actually, all 3 of them, they keep an eye on the building.
Oh.
We've had an alarm go off, and I had one of the neighbors. I've never spoken to her, and but they found my number, and she says, "Hey, I'm your neighbor. Your alarm is going off. There's nothing wrong. Don't rush over here. Everything is fine." And I'm just like, "Oh my God." That just made my heart so full.
Yeah, that's
like they're
amazing.
good people out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank God they're next to us.
When I lived in Auburn, this was like a year and a half ago, I went away. I think it was a whole week. And my neighbor, I didn't know I did this. I left my garage door open. My neighbor just closed it for me. So she had to go in there, and she's kind of elderly. She had to press the button and run out, right? When you think about it, like the way that she had to close it. And then she told me after I got back, she's like, "Oh, by the way, you left your door open and I closed it for you."
How sweet.
So it's a good neighbor, right?
Yeah,
I'd never
yeah.
talked to her before. I don't
Yeah.
even know her name still. I probably should have thanked her more fully, but yeah, that's to live
But you
next
didn't
to
forget.
people.
Look.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll never
Yeah.
forget that.
Exactly.
That was amazing. She could have not done anything, and
She
who
could
knows
have
what
went
would
inside
happen.
and started shopping.
She could have lived there. Who knows?
Yeah. She could
But
have
yeah.
taken a little mini vacation in his home.
Yeah, absolutely. So having great neighbors. So you are on Main Street, but you're on the eastern side. You're by Athens, right?
Yes.
Yes. a
Athens
block
Pizza. So
from-
people who kind of can picture that in their mind where Athens
So
is.
across Auburn Supermarket.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a great area. Kind of a little bit out of downtown, but close enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I think we're right outside the downtown boundary.
Yeah. And this is
Yeah.
both of your first business, right? Mm-hmm. How has that been? Like just owning a business?
It's been
my
a
gosh.
ride.
It's
been
been
a
a
wild
ride.
ride.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's still a wild ride.
Yeah.
I think
We're still on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The roller coaster is still kind of up there.
I'm sure you work
know.
all of the time now, right? Like you probably, I'm sure you have days off, but it doesn't feel like it, right?
No.
We don't have any days
No.
off.
And one thing that I was totally not prepared for was social media. I'm not a very active social media person in my personal life.
Yeah, same.
So learning that and, handling, oh my God, posting and recording and filming and drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, even if you see our Instagram, mostly it's videos of her. I'm always in the background. It's like, hello,
She's the on-screen
goodbye.
talent. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's our thing. Okay, can you come up here and talk? Why am I only talking?
I do better with 1-to-1.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
No, and you do better with more relaxed, funny
Yeah.
type of videos, right? If it's a let me talk to you and teach you something. She's like, no, I'm out. You do that.
It's hard, and the social media landscape has changed. And I try to tell the people here at the City of Auburn who I work with, 10 years ago, you used to be able to just post a photo or a graphic.
Right.
But now you have to record a video, which means you have to record a video and you have to edit the video and you have to caption the video and you have to like look at the trends and you have to find the fun things that are going to keep people interested. So we're very lucky to have Angee, who does social media for the City of Auburn. But if we didn't have her, it would be a 35-year-old man doing it. And
on
it's like
top of everything
on top
else.
of everything else. And at some point it's like I can't, I'm not, you know, it's like you guys, I'm sure you're like a lot of what you do when you think about posting a social media video is like, what are people going to want to see? Like what's the content that they're watching right now? And that takes time to research.
Yeah.
So I don't envy you at all.
Yeah. And
when it
I
comes to
feel
that.
like by the time I'm done researching,
It changed.
It's
Moved
like
on.
old news at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
it's-
you know,
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
okay, so I was just gonna say, like, I literally look at you and I think that you're my age, right? So when you were talking about that, I was like,
Great,
oh,
she's
and
aging.
no, I was just saying, like, in the sense of I was like, oh, that's interesting that like someone my age is having a hard time with social media.
I am not your age, and I have a very hard time.
It is hard.
Viewers, listeners, whatever, you guys, if you guys see these ladies, whatever age you think they are, you guys, what I'm trying to say by that is you know what you're doing with skincare.
Absolutely.
You know what you're doing because you guys look amazing.
Oh,
So
you.
serious.
Thank you.
I want to come to the Medspa.
That's sweet.
Help me
Thank you. Both of you are welcome. We don't
thank you.
discriminate against
outing?
men.
Yeah, maybe my first spa experience.
Yeah.
There you
for
go.
sure.
Yeah.
If I walked in and I saw both of you and you were this welcoming and like just conversational, I would immediately feel like, oh, okay, I feel like I could do this.
Oh, yeah.
And that's exactly
why
the
we
space
started it. Exactly.
we're creating,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
That's
It's
the
not
goal.
very like stuffy or anything. We just have fun.
Yeah.
We love that.
Not like pretentious. It's
No,
I'm
please.
allergic.
right.
Nobody
allergic
has
to
time for that.
privilege.
Yeah,
No.
Can't do it. That's why I ran away from those areas. I can't.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What is there a female unk? Do you know what unk is? Is there a female equivalent of that?
Wait, am I being aged again?
No.
So my fear now that I'm 35 is when I'm on videos, Gen Z and younger, they like to call older men unk.
Oh,
it's,
like
it's a
uncle,
term
like
of
uncle,
endearment.
like
Yes,
unk,
it's a
yeah.
good thing, but you
Okay,
don't want to
I
be
didn't
called
know.
unk, right? Even though it's a good thing, it
Yeah.
means that I'm older.
Jonathan, you're not that old.
So women
they
are
would
also
s-
unk?
That's
No,
what
no,
I'm
not
wondering.
on.
No.
Angie would know, but apparently she doesn't.
I don't feel
I
like
thought the word unk was just, because they used to use it, in the early 2000s
Yeah,
too.
it all
I
comes
thought-
back, right? Yeah.
I thought
no.
unk was just like a cool way of saying uncle.
It is kind of a cool way, but when they
Yeah.
see somebody like older, like a streamer or somebody who's on videos, and they'll be, they'll call them unk, but it's like in term of endearment. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious if there's a female version, but
Auntie.
that's what I'm always.
Auntie.
So wouldn't it be like AUN?
Like a
on?
hunty or something.
On.
Aunt. We
On.
can start it.
Let's
I'm
just
sure we
say
can
it.
start
On.
that.
Unk and on.
I don't want to be anybody's aunt.
So we're just gonna do a couple of don't miss this comedy at the course. So it's back at Bogies. The Auburn golf course is currently open. It was closed. I don't know if any of you did you experience any flooding in December? Hopefully not.
No.
Very lucky.
Thank
We're in
God.
Federal Way. There wasn't any, right?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
way up high. But even in Auburn, where you're at,
Yeah.
thankfully the river never got close. But
Yeah.
the golf course was not as lucky. It did flood, especially the golf house. So that is finally open. Bogies is open. That's Friday, March 27th, comedy at the course. And then the other thing I wanted to shout out was Peter Cotton Trail. That starts April 3rd, so a lot of time there. But if you go to our community calendar on our auburnwa.gov, auburnwa.gov/calendar, you can find some information about that. You don't have to register for anything. You just have to get out into the trails. I don't know if either of you have done that before. It's a lot of fun. If you have kids,
Yeah.
you just walk the parks of Auburn and you look for bunnies, and that's it. And then you record which bunnies you saw. You submit it to us, and you have a chance to win a prize. You have a very good chance to win a
How
prize.
cute.
Yeah, all you have to
would
do is
love
just
that.
look for
She
bunnies.
loves Peter Rabbit.
Oh.
Yeah.
What are the prizes?
I'm glad you asked. So there's a bunch. I'm not going to say all of them, but there's gift cards. There's ones to like Nectar Juice Bar. There's grocery outlet gift cards, SeaX gift cards. I don't know if you know
Okay.
SeaX. It's super fun. Maybe Resort Medspa could be a sponsor.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that.
Well,
There we
now
go.
we do. You just have to. We'll get you connected to our Parks Department.
Yeah.
Dave and Buster's gift cards. There's tumblers. There's a K-pop Demon Bunny set.
Oh.
K-pop Demon Hunter.
Bunny.
What's the demon?
It's a Netflix show. It's a Netflix movie.
Sounds
It sounds worse than it is.
Yeah.
It's a musical. They love it. They love the songs.
okay,
I'm
good.
sure you have a 12-year-old. Yeah. Does your sister like it?
Yeah, Isabella. Yeah.
Anybody?
How old is she?
She's 12. She just turned 12. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say any kid from like 8 to 12 has probably at least heard the song. Or if you just scroll on Instagram, you'll hear it. So yeah, a ton of prizes. You just have to walk the parks. That's between April 3rd and 6th. So don't go before because there are no bunnies up. And
Okay.
But on that weekend, it's Easter weekend.
Right.
Okay, so we've got trivia.
Trivia.
So wellness trivia. The way we usually do it is we have a different person here. His name is Chester, and it's called Best the Chest, and they have to try to beat Chester. With trivia, Chester's not here, so I'm gonna go against you two.
Okay.
In wellness trivia, I fully expect that you're gonna beat me 6-0.
I really tried to make it stuff where it's fair game.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
And the way that it works is if you know the answer, just shout it out. You don't get any penalties for not getting the right answer. Just keep saying things until you have it right. We don't keep it super serious.
we have a
around here.
buzzer?
No
There's
buzzer.
no but you can pretend that there is. Okay. I like to.
Sometimes Angee does.
It's very
Like-
She'll
competitive.
slam very loud. Yeah.
Okay, ready, set,
Okay.
go.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Go.
Oh, I'm so honored to do trivia. Okay, so the word spa originates from a real city that was famous for its natural springs. Which country was that city in? Multiple choice.
a
Multiple
real
choice.
Multiple choice. Okay.
Which country does the city? Okay.
France, Iceland, Belgium, Costa Rica.
France?
France, Belgium,
Iceland and Costa Rica.
Iceland, and Costa Rica.
I think France.
Okay, France, ladies.
I'm between France and Iceland.
Iceland is what I would have went for.
Iceland.
Iceland.
Okay, choose again.
No, Iceland is what I would have went for.
It's Belgium.
Belgium. Okay. Fine.
Really?
1-0.
Wow, Spa.
Spa Belgium.
Huh.
I didn't know that there's a city called Spa.
Yeah, Spa Belgium.
I didn't know that either.
Bad geography.
Check them out. Okay, question 2.
Angie, have you been to Belgium? You went to the Netherlands?
Yes, but I was
Let's-
only in Brussels for a day.
Oh, okay.
Why?
I'm just curious.
Okay.
Oh, what? The Netherlands is. I don't even know why I said that. Bruges is in Belgium. Have you been there?
No, because I was just there for like a
Oh, okay.
day trip.
Well,
Okay, cool.
Good way to go.
True or false?
Hmm.
Your skin is the largest organ of your body.
True.
True.
I'm gonna
True.
just give it to them.
Yeah,
it is
give it to
true.
them. They knew it.
Then it's the liver. Does that get us another
probably
thing? Does that get us another thing?
Okay,
So it's 1-1.
1-1.
Okay, 1-1.
This one, Jonathan is gonna get like a second head start. Okay, because he just
Because I won't know it.
I don't know. You
I don't
know.
know. We didn't know where Spa was.
I
Exactly.
don't think anybody
Well,
knows.
that one is like dumb.
I think
mean,
people in Belgium probably don't even know.
I wanted to do things that aren't just like
Yeah,
technical
this,
stuff.
This is great. You're doing great.
Wait. So, what does the F in SPF stand for? Formula, factor, fraction, or filter? You guys can start now.
Factor.
Oh my god! What?
Was that right?
It is.
Wait,
Is
but
it?
did you guys know that and you were
Yes.
waiting?
Yeah.
Well, that makes me feel bad because I said like a second head start. I didn't mean like
What does
That's
it
okay.
stand for?
That's all right.
it's sun
Something-
protection. Well, why don't you guys say it? Just say it.
Sun protection factor?
Yeah.
That sounds right.
And
So-
she like gave the answer already.
Yeah. She's doing great.
Sorry, guys. I just got a second head start. Okay, I don't know who gets that.
But
Probably.
but do you know what SPF 40, SPF 30, 50? What does that mean?
I know that bigger
gonna turn
numbers
into
mean
Bigger is better.
more of the thing, but sometimes you don't want more of the thing, right?
So it's the time that you need to reapply.
Oh, okay.
So SPF 30, reapply 30 minutes every 30 minutes.
What? That
that's
is
great to
way
know.
too quick.
But nobody's really doing that.
Yeah.
If we're being honest,
Yeah.
you know.
The typical recommendation is every 2 hours.
Every 2 hours.
Right.
That I
30,
can
that's
do.
crazy.
That seems easier.
Okay. Which hormone is commonly called the stress hormone?
Cortisol.
Nice.
Oh, shoot.
Great job,
You know, I
ladies.
could have thought of that because spiking cortisol, that's like a thing on, I
Right.
don't know if you look at social media, but the looks maxing and something mogging, spiking cortisol. Yeah.
I thought that was fair game because of social media and stuff.
I had cortisol in my head, but good job.
Good job, ladies.
We
Okay.
have to catch up.
I think it's tied right now. It's 2-2.
I am still asleep.
This is also something you guys will obviously know. So Jonathan gets like 1 second and then you guys can go for it.
Okay.
Okay.
He might actually know it.
Exactly.
He might not. For Jonathan, which of the following is not a form of hair removal?
Uh-oh.
Threading, sugaring, laser treatment, chemical peel.
Sugaring.
Chemical peel.
Damn it. Sugaring? That's a form. What do you do?
Sugaring is actually one of the oldest forms of
Is it
hair
using
removal.
sugar? What?
Like caramelized sugar.
It's
Oh, so like it
looks like
bonds
wax.
to the hair and then you, oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
That was a tricky one for him.
The other
right?
day we were talking, sorry, just a quick sidebar. The thing where you use the threads and you cross them, how does that pull the hair out?
So the hair kind of gets
Trapped in. Kind of.
trapped into that little cross, right? And you're moving the cross.
And you
back
can be very
forth.
specific about which hair?
Yeah.
That's
so
wild.
it's basically plucking.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It looks very cool. It's
Is
very
that,
like,
started like India or something, right? Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Sugaring. Interesting.
Yep. Okay.
So it's 3-2. If we
Okay.
tie, we don't have a tiebreaker.
Yeah, this
By the
one
way.
is
Uh-oh.
It's okay.
We'll figure it out.
rock, paper, scissors.
I'm
Okay.
sure it'll be fine.
In 2024, how many spa visits were reported by the U.S.'s
Oh my
spa
God.
industry? Hold on, multiple choice. Multiple choice.
You can take this.
It's
I wouldn't
fair
even
game.
know where to start.
Fair game. It's multiple choice.
Okay.
All right.
40 million, 100 million.
Oh my God.
180 million, 300 million.
I'll go with 300 million because a lot of people go to spas.
Do you guys want to deliberate? at all?
180 million.
And what about you?
40.
Okay, you guys got it. It was
180?
180.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. 180 million.
I feel like a lot people
It's
are
a
very
growing industry.
People are very serious about their spa days,
Yeah.
whether it's like to de-stress and sometimes people just get a facial just cause they're like I just want to lay there. And I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just
good.
wanna
They
lay-
won 4-2. Good job.
Nice.
Wow.
Did I do
we
a
did.
good job?
You did
guys?
amazing.
You did
That was
amazing.
incredible.
You completely threw us off with those questions. That's great.
I tried to make it like fair.
She was trying to make it so I could at least
Yeah.
be competitive.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd just blow me out of the water. I wanted you so when I think the very stereotypical view of like a spa, people don't do the cucumbers on their eyelids anymore, do they?
I mean,
mean,
we
you
don't do it.
can.
If you want to,
don't
you
do
can.
it.
If I specifically requested it, could I have cucumbers on my eyelids?
We will
Yes,
get
I would
some
have
for
to
you.
go buy some.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for
that
having
was
us.
a lot of fun. If people want to come and visit Resort Medspa, your address is
1202 East Main Street.
East Main Street. And then if they Google Resort Medspa Auburn, they will find you. And you're on
Exactly.
Instagram.
Yes.
Are you on TikTok?
Yes.
Yes, and all the handles are the Resort Med Spa.
The Resort Medspa.
Nice.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Facebook page,
Facebook as well.
Yeah.
even though I don't know how to use it. But.
Yeah.
I think that's the youngest thing you've ever said.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Thanks. So on this podcast, let me just say it officially. I was told that I'm short and that I'm old. The only good thing that came out of it is you look great. Thank you, Angee.
You're welcome.
I think I said shorter.
I'm joking.
It was relative.
I'm joking.
Angee usually has to sit there.
Yeah.
This was fun though, you guys. Like,
Yes.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
This
We'll have
is
to
great.
have you come back.
Please. This is great.
Thank you.
Yeah, we should do this like, I don't know.
We should do this more
Seasonally.
often.
We should do this one. We'll do this on your anniversary
Yeah.
and then your
Okay.
second anniversary.
Yeah, let's do that.
Maybe
the
we can
third.
record at the Resort Med Spa. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
that'd
gosh,
be
that
so
would be
fun.
lovely.
That would be very calming for sure.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
You've seen it.
No, it's super cute.
Yeah.
The videos were
Obsessed.
awesome. And yeah, we have a video on our Instagram as well. So if you want to learn more about Resort Med Spa, you have to scroll back a little bit. I think it was about a year ago. But
So for our audience, where would they find this podcast?
so yeah, we are Auburn on Main. And if you look on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, we're on YouTube, Amazon Music,
Anywhere you find podcasts.
pretty much anywhere. Yeah, we're not on SoundCloud. We don't post there, but anywhere you would find a podcast, we're there.
Auburn on Main.
Auburn on Main.
Yay.
Check it out.
Thank you.
All right. Well, yeah. Thank you
ladies.
so much.
This is great.
Yeah. Thank you.
you.